Hello everyone, my name is Ana Martha Ayala, and I'd like to welcome you to my YouTube channel. As a reminder, I do every video in English and Spanish, and the degree theory is based on modern Western astrology using the Placidus House system. So, in today's video, I wanted to basically respond to some of the comments that I made in my previous video on silver, gold, and oil. So this is like a part two or part three, part two, I think. So like I said, I wanted to do a quick video as a follow-up because I've had some viewer ask me about, prices and investment strategies that I'm using. So remember, this is not financial advice. I'm just telling you what I'm doing based on Gareth Soloway's information and the bald guy, which I'm going to link the videos below because I think these guys know a lot about the stock market. Um, and since I have Neptune in the eighth house, the eighth house rules the stock market, right? So, and Neptune is to lose. You know, I'm very cautious when I go into the stock market because anytime I buy a stock, I always put a stop loss order to sell at a certain price. And then as the price continues to go up, then I raise the stop loss price, right? So because the idea is not to lose capital, basically the money I invested, right? I might not get the highest price, I might not sell at the top dollar, but at least I make some money. And the only reason I'm looking into commodities is because if you've seen my videos, I want to buy some farmland. So I'm hoping that this will give me a big push for the down payment. Once again, I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm just letting you know what I'm doing. Also, as a reminder, in the stock market, there's a saying that bulls, meaning when you think that the stock market is going to go up, bulls make money, bears make money. Bears is when the stock market is going down. People short stocks. That's some really nerve-wracking things, in my opinion. But pigs get slaughtered. That means that you get greedy and then you end up losing a lot. Oh boy, Sahara's coming into the video. So like I told you guys last time, I am out of silver. But I did get a small position in a stock called A, or the ticker symbol is AG, which is a silver mining stock. Um, since when they report financials, any of the silver mining stocks, I would assume that they're doing very well because of the price. It skyrocketed. So again, the assumption is that the stock will do well as well. So I also have another silver mining stock, which the ticker symbol is PAAS, pause, PAAS. Um, but there I only have like 3 shares. So I have kept my physical silver, and this includes, the silver jewelry like Pandora, eh, which used to be very heavy. I went to a Pandora store because I had a gift card years ago that a friend of mine gave me for a gift, and their jewelry is so light now on the silver component that it was horrible. So obviously I bought the heaviest, a the heaviest charms. I didn't care what I was buying. I was interested in the silver content. I know that sounds horrible, but this is what I did. So anyway, um, bangles, silver bangles, they're 925. Earrings, anything that you have silver, whether it's back in the day, not that I have any, but there were some like silver spoons, like cutlery and those fancy um, what do you call it? The serving sets that like your great grandmother had, that type of thing. That's all silver, but it doesn't have to be pure silver, but it's silver. Um, so this is how I think things will play out according to, the oil, right? Oil was going to spike because of the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, which I stated that a while back. I don't remember when I made that video, but I think it was at least in January. Um, and now, well, we have the Saturn-Neptune conjunction. That set things off. And then now we have the attack on Iran, which I stated was going to happen. And I did the video, gosh, I think it was last week. Um, So, according to Gareth Soloway, it will only be for a short while, the spike in oil. Eh, listen, you're good. Wait, I guess she wanted to share her thoughts on oil too. So, anyway, as I was saying, according to Gareth Soloway, the spike in the oil prices will be short depending on how long the attacks last. And like I said, I included his video, and he talks specifically about oil from 5.01 to about 8:30 in the video. He states that he mentions that the Strait of Hormuz, if there's any interruptions with that, because that's where a great amount of oil passes through there, like the shipments, so then the prices can remain higher. Now, the astrology translation to that. On March 29th, Neptune in Aries will square Jupiter in Cancer. So Neptune is going to be about 4 degrees of Aries, and Jupiter is going to be at 20 to 27 degrees of Cancer. So it's a trine. So while I agree that because of the conjunction of the Saturn-Neptune can be short-lived, right? Because that was on February 20th, maybe a couple of weeks or so. A, the initial spike might only last a little bit, but then because of this trine, and like I said, from March 29th, not the trine, I'm sorry. It'll be a square. Neptune in Aries will square Jupiter in Cancer. So, a square is always a challenge, so the price may go down. But it may only be for a little bit, because then on June 16th, Neptune is at 4 degrees of Aries and Jupiter is at 27 degrees of Cancer. So that's a trine. Now, I'm not a financial astrologer. I'm not a mundane astrologer. I am just trying to tinker with this to see if I could basically, figure it out. So there is a trine going from Neptune to Jupiter. Jupiter expands Neptune, right? So does that mean that it's going to be expanding the supply of petroleum, or does it mean that it will increase the price of petroleum, or both? The answer is I don't know. It could be both. It could be just one. I mean, I don't know. Let's see how this plays out. Now, I had stated in my last video that with the eclipse in Aquarius, there will be some volatility in the price of gold. And obviously, with this thing with Iran, the stock market, I imagine, is going to go down. And you can listen to, again, Gareth Soloway. And the first part of his video is talking about the S&P and what he thinks will happen. And also I put the other video from the bald guy that he focuses on gold and silver. So you guys can look at their videos and then decide what you want to do. But going back to the eclipse in Aquarius, I told you that there would be some volatility in the price of gold. And now that I think about it, in silver too, because an eclipse is involving the sun and the moon, right? So I could see an eclipse energy is in itself very volatile. And this one had, I think it was a square to Uranus. So ta-da, that's why we saw the Iran thing. And by the way, Iran was caused by the eclipse, which falls right on their axis, the first house and seventh house, right? Seventh house meaning open enemies. Um, and then the the Saturn Neptune conjunction, because it also affects Iran. Now, when Jupiter enters Leo, the price of gold should increase because everything that Jupiter touches, it expands. But Jupiter is peregrine in Leo, meaning that it doesn't feel good, but it doesn't feel bad. It's like a neutral position for Jupiter. Like if Jupiter were in Sagittarius, well, it feels good because it rules Sagittarius, right? But in Leo, it's neither good or bad. It's exalted in Cancer. That's why silver has done so well. Um, but I believe that I stated that silver would do better when Jupiter goes direct after March 11th. So gold, when Jupiter enters Leo, which I think is at the end of June, like June 24, 25, something like that. And then silver should do a lot better after March 11th. As a side note, the financial guys are saying that the next metal that is expected to do well is copper. But I think copper is ruled by Venus. So I'm not sure how that will play out because, Venus cycles are only a few weeks. So I'll try to get some research done on that, but I'm not exactly sure. But I did see one of them or both of them talk about copper as the next go-to metal because of the data centers. That's why. Now, so I have stated before that the stock market is super manipulative, right? It's manipulated. So my goal is to buy property, to grow my own vegetables, to grow my own food, because you can't eat gold, you can't eat silver. Um, gold is more of a safe haven in quotations, right? To preserve capital. And silver, besides being, you can wear jewelry and just like gold, right? But silver is more of the industrial type of metal. And remember that Neptune is in Aries, meaning that no one is coming to save you, not the government, not your neighbor, whatever. Aries is the I am. I am responsible for myself. Neptune, I am responsible with God's help, right? Or with the Creator's help, or whoever you feel inclined to pray to. So I hope that these videos that I'm doing help you understand the astrological cycles and how things play out in the financial market. I don't think, for me, and again, I'm not a financial astrologer, but stock market crashes happen when Pluto squares Saturn. And that is going to happen when Saturn goes into Taurus 2 years from now. I haven't looked into that yet, but because all of these mundane astrology things require a lot of time. They require a lot of research. It's not as easy as personal charts. So, okay, that's all I wanted to tell you guys. Let's see how this turns out. Let me know in the comments if you have any investment ideas, because, let's share, right? Let's see how we could help each other out, make some money. And I'm hoping that if you guys decide to invest, that, with the money that you make, you can pay off your student debt, your credit cards, give you an emergency fund, which should be at least 12 months of your expenses. Maybe it'll help accelerate your mortgage. in any way, shape, or form, I hope that these videos that I'm making will give you the best outcome possible. Hey, thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, send it to somebody else that it may also help. And as always, if you want a chart reading with me, please send me an email to amaastrology@aol.com. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.